gentlemen, welcome to our final monthly special event of the year, Toxicity. And it is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And we have one hell of a main event to bring to you here tonight. Contested for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship, the Siberian Silver Bear Pando will be going one-on-one against the star attraction, Pierre Cinema. What a tumultuous bout up ahead, a first time ever contest in our main event, a very heated feud to close out the year. But when we look at how intense the World Heavyweight Championship scene could be, look no further, because we also have a championship contender later on tonight. The winner of this bout will, of course, get the first crack at whoever wins in the main event of Toxicity. One of these two men will be entitled to a World Heavyweight Championship match in 2026, which is right around the corner. We're, of course, talking about two of the highest contenders across all of KPW at this moment in time. The king of Stego style, the Rhinestone Cowboy, Cory Sinclair takes on the Sauce. That's one hell of an opportunity for both of these men. Both of these men have quite the history running into the World Heavyweight Champion. But we know how differently things could go here tonight. We know that there could logistically be a chance that Pando doesn't even walk out with the gold. And Pierre Cinema's got quite the history with both of these men as well. I need to look forward to here tonight, but also still to come more championship opportunities. As for the KPW Tag Team Championships, the Hornets, the two-time KPW Tag Team Champions, defend the gold against the cohorts of Steven Gielberg, the personal henchmen, the hired thugs, those goons in the scheme. Bloom and Bilko look to dethrone Wasp and Mosquito here tonight and bring some glory and renown back to the studio. That is not all when it comes to championship opportunities. We still have the KPW American Championship to talk about, as the KPW American Champion, the Heartthrob, Popo, representing Bunker Hill. He expected to go one-on-one against the Monarch, Oliver English, until he voided that opportunity over to a big, lumbering 400-pound man named Papyrus. And also still to come, there's a lot more up for grabs than just championship gold. Reparations are being placed in working order as Popcorn Papi looks to get his reparations against Slardy, the War Machine, one half of the First Nation, later on tonight. This all started nearly 2 years ago when Slardy broke Popcorn Papi's neck with a buckle bomb. And Popcorn Papi, he had to go through some serious trials, some serious tribulations to get this bout. We saw it on Monday night at that summit. Popcorn Papi having to endure 4 buckle bombs just to get this bout. What sort of condition is he going to be in when he takes on the War Machine? And finally, to round out the championship list, as all 4 KPW championships are up for grabs tonight, to kick off the event for the KPW Twitch Championship, we'll be seeing Rey Ilusion defend the Twitch Championship against hard-boiled Kabuki. It was just 1 year ago where we saw this man make his debut here in KPW, and he's had a hell of a run. You can forget the wars that he waged against K-Dog at the start of last year. The way that he marched into KPW, the way that he earned his status. He's certainly been making the most out of his opportunities as per the opportunity that he received over the past several weeks when he entered a triple threat contender between himself, Shuko, and Opulence. One of those three men were slated to get a championship match here tonight, and it came down to the wire until Kabuki locked in that Dragon Sleeper on Shuko to get this match. And the mysterious Rey Ilusion makes his first defense of the Twitch Championship here tonight. Kabuki, a very agile man, a very athletic man. He's gonna have to use his speed to outpace and dictate the pace of this bout here. Ilusion with the front drop kick. Stumbling back, Kabuki. Kabuki throwing some shin kicks. Rey Ilusion looking to steal it with the small package. Whoever this man is, whoever is behind that mask, they are looking to make out of this building like a bandit. Kabuki thinking a snap suplex, and Ilusion denies him that opportunity. And that's going to be the first of many denials that he will have to make here tonight if he wants to maintain that KPW Twitch Championship reign, one that started last month when he defeated the Sauce at Collision Course. For one hell of an open challenge. Inside cradle, one count.
One.
Another one count. Kabuki kicks out. Rey Ilusion looking to move quick here. He is moving on the clock.
One.
Looking the leg this time, and still a one count. Kabuki throwing in some mean right hooks, another throat thrust to follow it up. And there's just something about Rey Ilusion that just seems so familiar.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Like
6.
like it can't be understated how much it feels like this man has naturally made a fit for himself here in KPW since we've seen him arrive and burst onto the scene.
13.
Action returning inside the ring. Kabuki calling a shot. Rey Ilusion looks to cut and strike him down where he stands. Irish whip from one corner to the next. Big headbutt into the corner. Ilusion thinking a snap tiger suplex, but Kabuki wrestles his arms free. Ilusion getting down to his knees to deliver a low blow, and he's trying to go for that tiger suplex once again.
One.
And Kabuki, as quick and as slippery as ever, he is just able to wrestle his way out of the hold. Inside cradle of his own. And Kabuki almost ran away with the gold here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our first of 4 championship matches here tonight at Toxicity. We still have the American Championship up for grabs, a true David versus Goliath style bout to come in the evening.
1, 2.
When Popo defends the American Championship against Papyrus. We still have the tag team championships up for grabs, the Murder Hornets defending against the Scheme. And of course, our main event of the evening, Pando, has quite the roadblock
1,
presented in front of him,
2.
and his reign of dominance and destruction. He still has to get through Pierre Cinema in our main event of the evening. Drop kick, sending Kabuki down to the floor off the apron.
3, 4, 5, 6.
We know how skittish the Twitch champion gets at the prospect, at the idea of introducing any sort of verticality into his offense. And that hesitation is coming back to bite him, as Kabuki has found one hell of an opening to take advantage and exploit the Twitch champion. Drop down, power slam, and look at the speed Kabuki picked up before he got slammed onto his back. Ilusion with the low blow, but I don't think the referee saw it. Looking to go to the top rope here. Diving headbutt, but Kabuki moves out of the way. Ample time to react for the challenger. And now that dragon sleeper cinched in. And what a frantic crawl to the ropes it was for Rey Ilusion. And we saw this play out at Collision Course. We know that the champion, he is more than willing to get his hands dirty. He is more than willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. And Kabuki, he's busting his ass off week in and week out just to try and get any sort of championship gold here in KPW. It is something he has yet to achieve here in KPW. And all he has to do is find those perfect openings. A great enziguri counter from the challenger. One of the many opportunities that Kabuki's gonna need to make the most out of here. Cover from the champion after a flying lariat. And what a high-octane opener this has been for Toxicity. Another inside cradle, and Kabuki just barely beat the 3 count. Just barely. Kabuki pumping the brakes in the corner. Another Irish whip from the champion. Big spine on the pine. Rey Ilusion looking to move quick. Snap DDT. Cover.
1, 2, count 2.
And another kick out from Kabuki. We knew that wasn't going to be enough to put him down. Action spilling outside the ring once again, but now it is Kabuki in the driver's seat.
3,
Big senton down to the floor.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Kabuki looking to strike here. Rey Ilusion sizing up his challenger. Action in the corner. He's picking him up. Looking to go for a back suplex from the top here. Second rope. It appears that the second rope is fair game for Rey Ilusion. And he knows that Kabuki took the brunt of that damage a whole hell of a lot more than he did. Back-to-back lariats to follow it up. And Kabuki, he's just getting beat like a government mule out there. Low blow from the champion. And now he's going for quite the illegal chokehold here. Kabuki couldn't reach the ropes. Irish whip into the corner. Kabuki again, a mud hole stomped into him. And look at the champion taking all the time in the world to gloat and mock hard-boiled Kabuki. Big senton from the second rope. He's picked out some serious signs of weakness from the challenger, and he's looking to make the most out of it here. Kabuki fighting like hell. Irish whip reversal. Big power slam from the Twitch champion. Picking him up in the corner. Set him up for a TKO. Too exhausted to set him up with the fireman's carry. Settling for the top rope position. And that certainly did the trick. As we get one hell of a look at that TKO courtesy of the Twitch champion. The most pivotal move in this entire bout here. The same move that we saw him execute on the Sauce last month at Collision Course to win the belt. He now executes that same move on Kabuki to retain the belt. Congratulations to Rey Ilusion for maintaining his KPW Twitch Championship reign. What a high octane, high intensity opening bout that was here tonight at Toxicity. But coming up next, there's plenty more to be contested over, plenty more up for grabs here at Toxicity. A match of reparations as Popcorn Papi seeks reparations against the War Machine, Slardy.
I listen up 'cause we got work to do, y'all. We all got matches we gotta look out for. Every last one of us. I gotta take on Slardy in a minute, but it won't just be me. Popo, Solo. You two are gonna take on the First Nation at Holiday Hell on Monday. Iron sharpens iron, and Slardy is gonna give me the fight of my life, mang. If each of us can fight like hell for what we want, Parliament is through. Look at Popo staring at that beauty. He's got his eyes on the prize. He knows a 400-pound man is gonna try and take that from him tonight, and he's making damn sure nothing gets between him and that goal.
That sounds great and all, but where does that leave me? I'm not going to be left empty-handed while everybody else gets to spread some cheer, Bunker Hill style. I want to fight too.
K-Dog, I'm glad you said something, mang. 'Cause on Monday you do have a match. And it's gonna be against me. I got love for all of y'all, but if we're deserving of their respect, we aren't gonna hold back a damn bit. And that's what I want from you. Capiche?
A serious pep talk between the members of Bunker Hill. We now know that at Holiday Hell, Bunker Hill will have quite the battles to look forward to. Popcorn Papi, whatever might be left of him after Monday night, and whatever's gonna be left of him after this bout here tonight. He wants to take on K-Dog at Holiday Hell on Monday night. Popo and Solo, they're gonna be taking on the First Nation. Plenty to look forward to. But there is only one thing that Popcorn Papi is looking forward to here tonight, and that is reparations. Reparations for the neck that Slardy broke almost 2 years ago with that devastating buckle bomb. I can't believe that we're seeing this man march down to the ring on his own volition, on his own 2 feet. We saw the summit unfold on Monday night. A previous edition of Warzone, we saw these two strike down a serious negotiation where Slardy would only give Popcorn Papi this bout if he could survive 4 buckle bombs. Not even just 1 buckle bomb, but 4. Who knows the pain that Popcorn Papi is fighting through to get to this bout here tonight. Slardy is looking to maintain and reestablish the dominance of the First Nation here tonight. He is set out with no other goals besides simply being the better man. That is all that Slardy needs to achieve here tonight for Popcorn Papi. This is a much more personal bout. This represents redemption. This represents
2,
a chapter
3.
of his life, of his career closing, so he can finally open a new one. Slardy with a knee lift taking down Popcorn Papi. We heard it from Popcorn Papi. He's been calling the shots for Bunker Hill for quite some time. The de facto leader.
2.
Pulling out a sledgehammer. He's more than willing to make things dirty. He's got one hell of an equalizer there, and I think he just set down the sledgehammer. He doesn't need to resort to that. He doesn't need to stoop to that level to get the job done. We know the moral compass of Popcorn Papi. He would not be able to live this down if he fought this hard to get his reparations. And he took the easy way out just to achieve the goal. It's already looking for that open palm strike. Couldn't settle for the open palm strike, but what he did get was a fall-away slam. Popcorn Papi throwing the sledgehammer out of the ring. Back body drop, center of the ring, lateral press, 1 count. It's gonna take a whole hell of a lot to put down the War Machine. Pure toxicity tonight. Got one hell of a striking exchange at the corner of the ring. That is not an exchange that Popcorn Papi is gonna win here, folks. Popcorn Papi found one hell of an opening nonetheless. Look at a snap, crackle, and pop.
1, 2.
And Slardy continues the fight, and what a hell of a counter he had. Ready to go, that belly-to-belly suplex. Launching Popcorn Papi all the way across the ring, and now he's just raining down a flurry of fists into the face of the leader of Bunker Hill. Popcorn Papi, a working class patriot. We're gonna take the fight to the man that broke his neck all that time ago, put him on the shelf for 4 long months. These two finally getting to compete against each other for the first time ever. Popcorn Papi looking to go for a big headbutt to Slardy, but Slardy catches it.
2.
Slardy looking to go for a dive down to the floor, but Popcorn Papi moves out of the way.
6, 7, 8.
The agility, the athleticism that goes so vastly understated when it comes to the War Machine.
12, 13.
You see it come out in quite a big way.
15, 16.
Now what the hell is this? We got one hell of a duel here. Slardy with his signature 2x4, Popcorn Papi with the steel chair. And Popcorn Papi is defiant as ever. He's taking those strikes with the steel chair from Slardy, and he is staying on his own 2 feet.
1, 2.
Leg drop onto the back of Popcorn Papi.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Action on the outside here. Slardy getting whipped right into the barricade.
12, 13.
Big headbutt
14,
right in front of the Kumite faithful.
15.
Popcorn Papi attempting the drop kick, being denied of it by the War Machine. Steel chair in hand, it's fair game at this point, folks. And another belly-to-belly counter from the War Machine. He is taking the fight to Popcorn Papi. And this kind of bout here tonight, folks, this is exactly the element that a man like Slardy can thrive in. The pain, the endurance, the tolerance that a man like Slardy has is almost unreal.
One.
Popcorn Papi
Count two.
might be out of his league here tonight, folks.
One. Two.
Action spilling to the outside. Popcorn Papi looking to go for that steel chair in the aisleway.
5, 6, 7.
Steel chair in hand. Looking to launch it at Slardy, making sure that, let's make sure they didn't hit anybody in the front row with that. As the action spills up the rampway. Popcorn Papi, sorry, they are fighting in front of the stage here tonight. And this has been exactly the sort of environment that Popcorn Papi has been able to equalize this bout in his favor. Taking the action outside of the ring. Turning this into a street fight. Ramming Slardy's head into the steel grating of the stage. These two men staring each other down. They're anxiously awaiting, anxiously trying to predict what the other man might do. Slardy getting whipped right into the guardrails as he gets sent careening into them once again. Popcorn Papi takes the action back towards the ring.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Popcorn Papi, baseball bat in hand.
8,
Slardy answering with a pendulum backbreaker.
11, 12, 13, 14.
The way that we have seen this bout escalate over the past several minutes, it has been absolutely terrifying to witness in real time. Already with a right hook. Irish whip reversal from Popcorn Papi. Drop toe hold. Looking to do more damage to the knee of Slardy. And this is a great strategy here tonight, courtesy of Popcorn Papi. Take out the mobility of Slardy. Take out most of his power moves in his arsenal. And Popcorn Papi, we are at the point where he has to get out of his comfort zone. He needs to pull all the stops to put down the war machine here tonight. Both these men highly successful here, and it looks like Popcorn Papi, he might be even more successful because of the snap, crackle, and the pop that he just laid down on Slardy. Cover!
2, count 2.
And another kick out from Slardy. Popcorn Papi looking for that back elbow. Slardy catches it into a reverse armbar. The accolades that these men have both picked up over their careers here in KPW. Popcorn Papi, a 3-time Twitch champion, the first ever hardcore champion.
6,
And as of late, we've seen him talk about his dreams, his aspirations. He vows that one day he will become the KPW World Heavyweight Champion.
12, 13.
And this is quite possibly the most important pit stop he's ever had to make in his life. Slardy, a former tag team champion, a former hardcore champion, a former Twitch champion. He's damn near done it all except win the world title. And he'd have one hell of a way to etch his name into the history books if he could ever achieve that goal, if he could cross out that final championship aspiration. Swinging neck breaker from Popcorn Papi. Driving the knee into the groin of Slardy. We knew it was going to get dirty. We knew it was going to get gritty between these two. This bout has turned so fierce, so visceral. This has been an all-out brawl here tonight at Toxicity. The final monthly special event of the year. We only have one more KPW show to go for 2025, folks. This Monday night, a special edition of Warzone entitled Holiday Hell. And that is the night that we will officially begin the march, the Spring Stampede, the biggest event of the year, all the way in March of 2026. Slardy. We're gonna go for a stun gun on that top rope there. Big clothesline to the back of the neck. He calls that the silencer. And that's gotta be it.
Two. Count two.
And no! Popcorn Papi lives to fight another day. Where the hell is he getting this from?
One, two, count two.
Where the hell are both of these men getting this from? This is absolutely unreal. And a vicious strike to the head. In the corner. Step up knee strikes from Slardy. It's one thing to take a silencer from the War Machine, but completely unprotected to the back of the neck, and to still be able to kick out and stand on your own 2 feet. Popcorn Papi is fighting to keep his dreams alive.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Double axe denied from the top rope down to the floor.
8.
Popcorn Papi looking to go for something even more high risk. A splash
11.
down to the floor, but Slardy got the knees up.
13, 14.
This is any man's game here tonight, folks.
16.
Already looking to give Popcorn Papi his flowers in quite the literal sense. No metaphors needed when it comes to the War Machine. Popcorn Papi. Feeling a surge of adrenaline here tonight. Whatever he's got left in the gas tank, this might be it here, folks. Popcorn Papi looking to return the favor. A buckle bomb in the corner, following it up with a knee drop from the top rope. Swinging neck breaker. And what a brilliant play by Popcorn Papi, looking to take out the arms of Slardy, take out that silencer. What is Slardy going to be without his power, without his strength, without his arms? Popcorn Papi looking to go for it again. Another buckle bomb. Schoolboy cover.
1, 2, 3. Pinfall.
And Popcorn Papi has returned the favor. He has gotten his reparations here tonight. This bout has been nearly a year and a half in the making, damn near 2 years in the making. Popcorn Papi has fought through wars. He's struggled unlike any other combatant in that KPW locker room. And he's taken the fight to one of KPW's toughest men here tonight. Popcorn Papi utilizing that schoolboy to get Slardy towards the center of the ring. Make no mistake about it, no benefit of the doubt for Popcorn Papi. He has achieved his goals here tonight. He has closed an important chapter of his life with this major victory. Congratulations to Popcorn Papi for one hellacious fight here tonight. And coming up next, speaking of fights, speaking of Bunker Hill, Popo has got one hell of a fight on his hands as he takes on the 400-pound Papyrus. KPW American Championship up for grabs here, folks. And look at the size, look at the might of the 400-pound Papyrus. Oliver English looking to send one hell of a message to Bunker Hill by unleashing this man on the KPW American Champion. Typically, we would see Josue be the man trusted for a task like this. But Popo, he's got one hell of a fight on his hands. And he's got one hell of a monster to vanquish in that ring here tonight. Both of these men representing their groups to the fullest extent here tonight. Popo in the green representing Bunker Hill. Papyrus in that Parliament purple. And Popo's gonna need to proceed with caution if he wants to stand a chance against a beast like Papyrus. We've seen the damage that Chaos Control could do within the tag team division. Papyrus, Kruger, they've been enlisted as the personal henchmen of Oliver English for plenty of good reasons. And we've seen Bunker Hill get the upper hand on Parliament plenty of times in the past. Bunker Hill's provided one hell of a distraction for Oliver English and his great vision to try and restore KPW to a quote-unquote former glory. Big scoop slam from the heartthrob. A quick throat thrust in towards the corner. Papyrus getting slammed once again. That fight that we just endured between Popcorn Papi and Slardy, that must have fired up Popo a little bit. That must have given him some strong motivations. And he's looking to make one hell of an example out of Papyrus. He kips up after that body slam. He's fired up. He's ready to go. He's cleared the ring of the 400-pounder. And he's still keeping the pressure up.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Count of 10. It takes the count of 20 to disqualify a competitor here in KPW. Looking to meet in the middle. Popo crucifix pin. Papyrus's reach just far too much to make an impact for Popo, as he was able to reach the ropes quite easily. Look at the agility on display from Papyrus. You wouldn't expect that out of a man of the size and stature of Papyrus, this 400-pound monster being unleashed courtesy of the Monarch, Oliver English. With that massive reach advantage, this could be used against Papyrus quite effectively if Popo plays his cards right. But Popo's gonna need to stay close. It's quite a dangerous position for the KPW American Champion, but he's got to do anything he can to close that gap. Small package attempted. Papyrus puts a stop to that. Papyrus sizing up the heartthrob, the KPW American Champion, in his first defense of the gold.
3, 4.
And that is something that no American champion has yet to achieve here in KPW, a successful championship defense. We saw the championship be awarded to Bob after retiring the KPW Hardcore Championship. His very first defense was against Popo just a little bit over 3 weeks ago on Warzone. Popo would emerge victorious that night, and now this is the first defense of the heartthrob as American champion. Single leg Boston Crab, and that is the weight and the pressure of a 400-pound man on the back of the heartthrob, trying to pull one of his legs off.
One, two,
Action spilling outside the ring
3,
once again.
4,
Popo
5,
attempting a low blow, but Papyrus was ready for it this time.
7,
Big bicycle kick.
8, 9, 10.
Action returning inside the
11.
ring. Strong looks from Papyrus. What the hell is this? Papyrus, a 400-pound man, looking to soar. Leg drop from the top. And that is just a frightening sight for any man. And Papyrus looking to finish the job. Bicycle kick. And he's picking him up. Oh my God. Not like this. This would be insult to injury. Texas T on to Popo. And Parliament has just wrestled away the American Championship from Bunker Hill. What a way to establish dominance. What a hell of a way to shift the dynamic of this war between these two factions. Papyrus dropping Popo with his own signature move, that padded super kick to Texas T. The athleticism of Papyrus has always been so understated, always so unexpected to see it when that bell rings. And Oliver English, he made one hell of a play, inserting Papyrus into this bout to replace himself. He made the message loud and clear, electing to keep Josue out of the fray for this one. If Bunker Hill wants the American Championship back, they're gonna have to enter the lair of this beast and take it from him. As we have a new KPW American Champion, and his name is Papyrus. And speaking of championship bouts, speaking of opportunities, look no further than the Tag Team Championship, because tonight the Murder Hornets return back to America to defend the Tag Team Championships against the Scheme.
You think you know me, you think you know me.
The Scheme, they've been joined to the hip of the director, Steven Gilberg, a man that is probably still pulling wooden splinters out of his back after being drilled through that table on Monday night, courtesy of the Sauce. But the Scheme, they've picked out their opportunities quite fairly. They've been taking the fight to the vast majority of the KPW Tag Team division, and they are looking to knock these champions right off the totem pole. The two-time KPW Tag Team Champions, the Murder Hornets, enter the forum. And their victory, their Tag Team Championship victory, was quite unexpected. Back at Madhouse, we saw these two defeat K-Dog and Solo to become the Tag Team Champions. They made one hell of a first defense against Parliament, Oliver English, and Josue. And Olive Branch that seemed to do anything but that. And the Murder Hornets, they are looking in fantastic shape here tonight against the Scheme. Wasp kicking off this bout against Bilko. 60-minute time limit for championship bouts. These two men, Wasp, Mosquito, the Murder Hornets, they've been competing all around the world to maintain their dominance as the premier tag team in professional wrestling. Bloom and Bilko, they've been on one hell of a hot streak ever since joining forces with Steven Gilbert. And Bloom gets the tag, looking to intervene for his partner. Wrist lock, courtesy of the champion, drilling that elbow down into the shoulder blade of Bloom. And Mosquito makes the tag. He gets into the fray. And he's looking to get his hands on either member of the scheme. Continue to work down the arms of Bloom. Looking for a German suplex, but Bloom lands on his 2 feet. Drop kick, pushing Mosquito through the ropes. A low drop kick takes Wasp off the apron. He hit his head on the mat. What a vicious landing that was for Wasp of the Murder Hornets. The scheme in their black and red apparel. The Murder Hornets are tag team champions, adorning some signature black and yellow skirts. And these two men, they are absolutely ready to go to war. They are ready to wage a serious war to keep their tag team championship status alive, to keep it intact here. And Wasp, he is just continuously taking the brunt of this damage here from the scheme here tonight. Collateral damage on full display. Irish whip into the corner. Jumping roundhouse kick takes Bilko off his feet. Another enziguri takes him over the top rope and down to the floor.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Phantom offense from the scheme.
8,
Bloom distracting
9,
Mosquito inside the ring. Bilko laying in the cut on Wasp outside the ring. And the scheme, they're doing one hell of a job making sure that neither man could actually be fresh. Mosquito making the tag, the Wasp making the most out of a bad situation. They've been dealt quite the unlucky deck of cards. As Bilko, Bloom, they look to isolate each member of the Murder Hornets here tonight. Going into this, Wasp should be the freshest man in this ring. With that diversion that the scheme ran outside the ring, specifically Bilko. They have gained one hell of an upper hand in this bout. Side suplex from Bilko. Tag made to Mosquito. And these two men, they are properly assessing the threat that stands in front of them, comprising of Bloom and Bilko, the scheme. These two men took the fight. One of KPW's most dominant tag teams this previous Monday night on Warzone, when they teamed up against the Boise Boys, David Rush, Hollywood Hannon. And they secured quite the decisive victory against those men. They have one hell of a way to spoil their return party. And they get to try and recapture that same feeling here tonight. If they could overcome the Murder Hornets, they could finally achieve their goal of becoming KPW Tag Team Champions. The Murder Hornets have done it once before. The Scheme have yet to win any championship gold here in KPW. Bilko with a shot to the back of the head of Mosquito. Irish whip, drop toe hold, center of the ring. Drop kick from Mosquito. Tag made the Wasp. And ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more championship match still to come here tonight at Toxicity for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship. In our main event of the evening, we'll be seeing the Star Attraction Pierre Cinema go one-on-one against the Siberian Silver Bear Pando for the first time ever. And it's for the grandest prize in this industry. But also still to come, a championship contender, one that will define who will get the first shot at the KPW World Heavyweight Championship come 2026. Will it be the king of Stego style, the sick, delirious, the twisted mind that is Cory Sinclair? Or will it be the rhinestone cowboy, the Sauce, marching into the new year with one hell of a resolution to make good on? Mosquito challenging Bilko to get into his territory, get behind the enemy lines a bit. Bilko understanding that in order for the Scheme to win the tag team championships, they have to push the champions to their absolute limits and break those limits. And it's moves like that missile drop kick from the top that will inch them closer and closer to their end goals. Irish whip, shoulder tackle, taking down Bilko. Side suplex from Wasp. And Bilko returning the favor with a side suplex of his own. Drop kick to the knees of the champion. Then Bloom tags in. Wasp with the vertical suplex. Both of these teams, all four of these men, looking for the right moment to strike. These two teams so evenly matched. Scheme, they got quite the brains going into a squared circle. But the Murder Hornets, they love a good fight. They have the brawn and plenty of it to boot here tonight. Quick assist from Mosquito. Wasp just going in to capitalize with the Russian leg sweep. drop kick to the knees of Wasp. Trying to single out as a potential weak point. Wasp setting up Mosquito to go for that swinging neck breaker. Bloom the legal man, Mosquito the legal man, Bloom executing that side suplex towards the center of the ring. And Bilko, he's all fired up after what Wasp was unleashing on him in the corner of the ring before. Bilko now the legal man. Wristlock reversal from Mosquito. And what a pertinent time it would be for the scheme to capitalize and isolate one of these murder hornets here tonight. Head scissors takedown courtesy of Bilko. And we have one hell of a show to come to you this upcoming Monday night, 48 hours from now. The final edition of Warzone this year, a special holiday edition. Apropos, it is called Holiday Hell. And we now know that Bunker Hill, all 4 members of Bunker Hill will be competing at Holiday Hell in 48 hours. Popcorn Papi looking to go one-on-one against K-Dog in some friendly competition. Popo, Solo, team up against Slardy and Shuko, the First Nation. Also, still to come, you'll be seeing hard-boiled Kabuki in action once again as he goes one-on-one against the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce. Also, still to come on Monday night's edition of Warzone, the final Warzone of 2025. One of these 2 teams here tonight, whether it's the Murder Hornets, whether it's the Scheme, they're going to have to ball up whatever adrenaline, whatever energy, whatever conditioning that they might still have in the tank, because they will have to make a championship defense at Holiday Hell. As Bam Dardino, Ricky Rhombus, they look to make one hell of a buzzer beater. The Bam Bus challenge for the tag team championships this Monday night. Irish whip reversal. Big hip attack courtesy of Mosquito. Tag made to Wasp. Double suplex courtesy of the Scheme. A big open palm strike takes down the champion. Wasp backing up towards Bilko, waiting with open arms. Hurricanrana, shoulders on the mat here, knees on the shoulders, and only a 1 count. And look at the conviction in both of these teams here. I believe that was the first time we've seen anybody attempt a pinfall here tonight for the KPW Tag Team Championships. Hurricanrana of his own courtesy of Wasp, and not even a 1 count that time. These two teams, they are looking to go the distance here tonight. To call themselves, to declare themselves the leaders of the tag team division heading into 2026. One of these two teams will be defending the KPW Tag Team Championship against Ricky Rhombus and Bam Dardino, the Bam Bus, on Monday night. A drop kick to the knees of Mosquito, but Mosquito stands tall after that strike. He stays on that vertical base even for just a little bit as we saw him starting to favor that right knee. Sunset flip! But Mosquito was right there at the ropes. Bilko, he needs to keep the pressure up. He needs to make sure that Mosquito can't get to his tag team partner to make the tag. Bilko attempting a low blow. Mosquito makes the tag, and Wasp has entered the bout. Manhattan drop. Knee strikes from Wasp. We saw a counter side suplex from the champion. And Bilko making the right call there, frantically reaching out for his tag team partner. Trying to conserve the energy that they have left. Springboard moonsault. Followed it up with a suplex. Bloom is pulling out all the stops here tonight. Electric chair drop to Wasp. Bloom's got him right where he wants him. Michinoku driver. Cover.
Two. Count two.
And only a 2 count. A second Michinoku driver. Bloom
One.
holding him closer towards the center. And the scheme have stolen the tag team championships. Bloom was in one hell of a position to deal that final blow to Wasp in the corner with that Michinoku driver. He had a fair distance away from his tag team partner. Both of those men in uncharted waters. And while Wasp was able to survive the first Michinoku driver, he sure as hell didn't survive the second one. We get another look at the replay here. Mosquito, he was in prime position to break that one up, to keep the fight alive and keep that fight valiant for his team. But the scheme have executed one hell of a blitz play. They have maintained their goal here, and they have wrestled away the tag team championships from the Murder Hornets. Congratulations to the scheme, Bloom, Bilko, for becoming tag team champions for the first time ever. But coming up next, we can't discuss championship opportunities without mentioning these next two bouts, these final two bouts of the evening. One of these two men will be marching into 2026 with a guaranteed world title shot. Will it be the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce? Or will it be the king of Stego style, Cory Sinclair? Cory Sinclair, he is marching down to that ring with absolute conviction. We have seen this man completely snap away from reality. We've seen what the delusions of grandeur have done to this man's psyche. And this man, one of the hardest working men in all of KPW, they have to humble him back down to size. It's the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce. The Sauce went through one hell of a bout in the past 2 weeks of Warzone, taking the fight right to the World Heavyweight Champion, exposing weakness in Pando like we've never seen before. And it's always been about picking that right opportunity to strike. Cory Sinclair and the Sauce, they know exactly that kind of game. They know how to play that game. We saw the Sauce drill Steven Gilbert through that table just 5 nights ago. Cory Sinclair with a sleeper slam, trying to put the Rhinestone Cowboy to sleep. Trying to put this battle away as quickly as possible. Super kick to the Sauce, but he's still on a vertical base. Swinging DDT. The Sauce with the reach advantage, with the weight advantage, coming in here tonight at 265 pounds. The first ever Lethal Lottery winner, a 2-time KPW Twitch champion, a man that has competed on a high stakes level before, aims to do it again in 2026. But he has never been challenged. He has never been pushed by a man like Cory Sinclair before. Double knees in the corner.
Count 2.
These two have sparred in the ring before, but this has been a completely different version of Cory Sinclair, one that most individuals in that locker room are not intimately familiar with. Who knows if this was exactly the way that Cory was this whole time? Who knows if he snapped into this, breaking his sanity, breaking his spirit, just to put down that 500+ pound man beast, Chris Billy. We saw exactly what it cost both of them over the past several months, and we have yet to see Chris Billy since that barbed wire brawl. Step up enziguri to the back of the neck of the Sauce. Bow and arrow stretch from Cory Sinclair. We saw this man make it damn near to the finals of that championship contender battle royal at the start of the month. We've seen him be quite the nuisance for plenty of individuals like Pando, like the Sauce, like Pierre Cinema. Anybody that Cory Sinclair has perceived as a threat, he aims to exterminate them in the ring. And what a counter from the Sauce! Cory Sinclair thinking of going for that super kick. The Sauce counters with a headlock, taking things back to fundamentals.
1, 2.
Cory Sinclair playing mind games with the Sauce. Rolling wheel kick, and we've seen the damage that maneuver could do inside the ring to any competitor, no matter what the size is.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One thing is for sure, one thing is absolutely certain when it comes to Cory Sinclair. This is everything
1,
that he has deluded himself into
3, 4,
for the Sauce.
5,
This has been
6,
month after month of
7.
grinding, year after year, just to get another crack at the World Heavyweight Championship. The last time that we saw the Sauce in a World Heavyweight Championship bout was Summer Spark in 2024, when he went one-on-one against our World Heavyweight Champion at the time, the man they called Ding.
1, 2.
And where do you even begin with that individual? Where do you even begin to talk and discuss about the shift changes in personality that we've seen out of that man? He's become absolutely unpredictable in recent weeks. A strong similarity with the king of Stego style, Cory Sinclair. Always been able to get close to Ding to try and figure out what exactly his intentions are and what his purpose is since he returned to KPW at Collision Course. But Cory Sinclair, he has made his intentions loud and clear, and he's looking to do anything he can to secure that
3,
as he introduces all these weapons into the bout.
6,
And is that a mannequin fashioned after the Sauce? Is that a...
1, 2.
This is only getting stranger and stranger by the minute here tonight, folks. That wax bust of the Sauce in the corner of the ring. A figurative headbutt
1, 2. Count 2.
and a count of 2. Courtesy of our lead official, Slap Thigh Jones. I don't even think he knows what the hell to make out of this. The Sauce looking to counter. Catapult into the buckles. Sauce going for a shin breaker, trying to control the speed. of the maniacal king of Stego style, Cory Sinclair. The Sauce wrestling that mannequin head out of the grip of Cory Sinclair. We're trying to go for a standing armbar. The Sauce suplexes his way out of it. Cory tries to go for a super kick. And the Sauce catches him with an ankle lock. And Cory Sinclair, head in hand. A lot of individuals have expressed this sentiment as of late regarding Cory Sinclair. He should be holding a head in his hands for sure. Holding his head in his hands
1,
out of shame.
2, 3,
That code of honor, that code of chivalry that
5,
he thought that he was fighting to maintain and protect.
7,
He threw that completely out the window for vanity.
9, 10.
And what we've seen from this man ever since that moment, ever since he made that decision, it has just been a conscious shift further and further towards the dark side. Super kick
1,
to the outside.
2, 3, 4.
And another super kick taking down the Sauce. Cory Sinclair going up top, double knees, but the Sauce moves out of the way. The Sauce rolling underneath that kendo stick strike. The Sauce, he is walking a very thin line here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He is being pushed as far as one man can absolutely go here. Cory Sinclair trying to go for the oil spill into the corner, and that could have been seriously disastrous for the Sauce. And he wasn't able to get the man up. Kendo strikes from Cory Sinclair. Another strike with the kendo stick. That Singapore cane.
Break.
Eastern stretch from Cory Sinclair. Snap German suplex. And Cory Sinclair, this is one of the things that makes him so dangerous when that bell rings. He has managed to fuse damn near every style that he possibly can, and make it a part of his arsenal once that bell rings. He's not afraid to bust out the aerial offense. He's one hell of a striker, one of the most unorthodox strikers that KPW has ever seen. He's not afraid to resort to submission holds. He can get down and technical and gritty with some of the best that KPW has to offer. Sauce fighting back though. Cory Sinclair cutting off the momentum. The Sauce, sunset flip, cover,
Count 2.
and Cory Sinclair almost let that opportunity slip through his fingers. The Sauce almost punched one hell of a ticket for 2026. Irish whip reversal. Big head of steam on that clothesline. And the Sauce, he has been split wide open from here to Timbuktu. He is wearing that crimson mask. Meteor strike.
1, 2, 3, pinfall.
And that was all she wrote for the Rhinestone Cowboy. He was outdrawn by the King of Stego Style here tonight. Cory Sinclair shooting from the hip. As mean, as quick, and as vicious as ever before. Has earned himself a world title shot come 2026. Whenever the Sauce would try and step up and provide one hell of a fight, Cory Sinclair was right there to cut him off. And that is something that these two men in the main event have to look out for. Because in our main event for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship, it is Pierre Cinema, the star attraction, taking on Pando for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship. A first time ever bout. Pando with the distinct size advantage, the reach advantage. Both these men executing at their finest levels in the closer ranges. Pando's had quite a dominant championship reign. He's gone the distance much further than Pierre Cinema, and he just overwhelmed his former rival Jedi at last month's special Collision course. But if anybody has the endurance, if anybody could go the distance and try and overcome the odds, it is certainly the star attraction, Pierre Cinema. He has defeated 7 other men in a battle royal to get this opportunity. And one of these two men can expect to see Cory Sinclair in their very, very near future. But it is time for the main event. Cinema looking to make himself World Heavyweight Champion for the second time ever. That is a feat that nobody has been able to achieve here in KPW. Tonight has been all about a night of firsts. Papyrus winning his first ever championship belt. The American Championship by defeating Popo earlier on tonight. The Scheme becoming tag team champions for the first time ever. Cory Sinclair securing his first ever World Championship match come 2026. And if Pierre Cinema wants to be the first ever 2-time World Heavyweight Champion, well, he's got one hell of a hoss to put down here tonight. The Siberian Silver Bear Pando awaits him. We saw Pierre Cinema get the drop on Pando just 5 nights ago on Warzone. We know that it will be whatever it takes in the mind of Pierre Cinema to get the job done. And we've seen a more aggressive side of Pierre Cinema lately. Pando, as aggressive as ever. We've heard from Pierre Cinema. He may be outmatched as an athlete going into tonight's bout, but he has the brains. He's going to have to pick his moments, pick his opportunities to pick apart the World Heavyweight Champion. And if it goes as well as it did this past Monday night, we might very well see a new world champion at the end of this program. Pando pushing Pierre Cinema in towards the corner. Trying to back him into a corner. Pierre having to fight his way out of it. Pierre looking to go up top. Double axe handle. Moving in, trying to weaken the legs of Pando. And we know that Pando, he's been adoring that knee brace ever since Mayhem. All those months ago when he cheated death. And he went for that death-defying moonsault off the top of a tractor trailer. We've seen the scars on his knee. We know that he may never be the same athlete he was before. But what we have in front of us here tonight is still the most dangerous champion in KPW history. Pierre Cinema with those spinning wheel kicks. And he can't even put down Pando. Pando shrugging off all of Pierre's offense there. The action spills to the outside. Pierre Cinema looking to move quick.
3, 4.
The mind games outsmarting the champion. Baseball slide, looking to follow it up.
7,
Handspring moonsault over the top and down to the floor.
9, 10, 11, 12.
As Pando retreats back into the ring. That's that aerial offense coming to the disposal of the star attraction, France's greatest export, Pierre Cinema. Brainbuster onto the champion. And if Pando does not act quick, Pando left absolutely starstruck with that DDT
1,
cover.
2.
And I swear to God, we almost saw a new world heavyweight champion just like that. Pierre Cinema catching the world champion by surprise here. He's gonna have to kick into a second gear if he wants to keep that championship reign alive. We've seen these two men encounter each other before here in KPW. This is a first time ever bout here in our main event of Toxicity. Pando goes one-on-one against Pierre Cinema to defend his KPW World Heavyweight Championship. The last time these two butted heads, Pierre Cinema was the World Heavyweight Champion. And it was Pierre Cinema going out of his way to try and make the save for Pando against two mutual rivals at that point in time, the Band Bus. Pierre Cinema was swinging a steel chair that night like an absolute maniac, like a man possessed. And in a crossfire, Pando got whacked in the back of the head with a steel chair. And we heard that following week, all the way back in August, that night might have been an accident. But what we are seeing here tonight, there is no accident about any of this. This is the pure intentions Pierre Cinema on full display.
1, 2.
Another kick out from the World Heavyweight Champion. Pierre Cinema. In some beautiful white and gold trim attire. Pando in the red. Looking to maintain his gold here tonight. Pando looking to clear the ring of the challenger. Pierre sidestepping him, looking to go for a plancha from the top rope down to the floor, but there is nobody home. Oh my God!
6, 7, 8, 9.
Pando with
10,
a tiger suplex
11.
just launched Pierre Cinema
13, 14.
damn near 10, 15 feet. Cutting corners in the most destructive way possible. I'm left absolutely speechless at what we just witnessed. Here's Cinema. We're gonna keep Pando in the corner. Pando outpacing Pierre Cinema up until that drop kick, but he runs into a double underhook, back breaker, cover.
1, 2.
Another kick out from the World Heavyweight Champion. You can feel just how badly these two men want to call themselves the World Heavyweight Champion. And Pierre Cinema has the number of the World Heavyweight Champion, and it's not very often when we see Pando in a point of vulnerability. If anybody has the skill set, if anybody has the determination, the grit, the wherewithal to push the world champion to his limits, it would certainly be a man that knows exactly what it's like to be the World Heavyweight Champion. Pierre Cinema, he was around the world, on top of the world for 80 days. And it may be non-consecutive, but he's looking to make tonight day number 81 as he aims to become the first ever two-time KPW World Heavyweight Champion. Lateral press, and Pando pops the shoulder up. This bout continues. A lot of history being made here tonight. Rey Ilusion retaining the Twitch Championship in the opener against Kabuki. Popcorn Papi earning those reparations against the War Machine Slardy. Papyrus becoming a champion for the first time ever in KPW as the American champion. Pierre Cinema looking to become a two-time champion with that schoolboy, and Pando squeaks the shoulder free. Double foot stomp onto the chest of the champion.
2, count 2.
And there is nothing that Pierre can do to keep Pando down. Every time that Pando keeps getting back up, it just frustrates and makes Pierre Cinema that much more aggressive. He needs to maintain a cooler head, as it will be what he needs to prevail here. Magistral Cradle, but Pando was rolled towards the ropes. We also saw some serious history be laid down in the tag team division. The Scheme becoming tag team champions for the first time ever by defeating the Murder Hornets earlier on tonight. And just before, Cory Sinclair will get his first ever world title shot come 2026, now that he has defeated the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce.
3, 4.
And one of these two men in the ring, whether it's Pando, whether it's Pierre, they'll have one hell of a fight on their hands once the new year arrives. And these two are fighting like hell here tonight at Toxicity, just to call themselves the world champion. Spinning wheel kick from Pierre. Irish whip into the corner. Pando looking to go for a belly to back suplex. Pierre responds with a headlock takeover. Pierre Cinema, is he looking for a shooting star? He gets it. Cover.
1, 2, count 2.
And nobody has ever kicked out of the shooting star before. Not a single soul. But I don't think Pando's gonna kick out of this one. Star struck DDT. Hook in the leg to make sure. New world champ. And the lights have gone out. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? That's the tag team champions. The Scheme has screwed Pierre Cinema out of a history-making moment. And where the hell is Pando? Pando, he has no idea what the hell is going on. He's trying to recollect himself in the corner. He's certainly not going to be pleased about the way that this all unfolded. Pando, back to his senses, taking the fight right to the Scheme. And Pierre Cinema, by all means, by all intentions, he has won the match. But championships do not change hands on disqualifications. The Scheme have laid their hands on the challenger first, tainting this night for both of these men. And here comes the #1 contender. If there is any music that Pando did not want to hear in this moment in time, it is the music of Cory Sinclair, as he looks to pick up the scraps from the Scheme and whatever was left of him after that hellacious main event. We knew that these two men would have done whatever it took to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And we now see in action exactly what Cory Sinclair would do, what shortcuts he would love to take. to put the head of Pando over his fireplace. Kendo stick strike. Giving Pando equal treatment like he did to the Sauce no more than just half an hour ago. Now this is absolutely disgraceful. And Pando, he's doing everything he can to fight back, but he only has so much left in the tank. Or he's had the time to recuperate. He's had the time in the trainer's room to freshen up. He's just picking away at the Siberian Silver Bear like a damn vulture. And now Cory looks to deal even more damage to the World Heavyweight Champion. And a low blow for good measure. And what the hell is he thinking? Cory Sinclair introducing steel steps. This is a message. The clock is ticking. Cory Sinclair has a guaranteed world title shot in 2026, and he is softening up the champion as much as humanly possible. And Pando's been split wide open, courtesy of those steel steps. The security, they're not getting involved with these two maniacs, with these two menaces, these two freaks. The scheme buying Cory Sinclair all the time in the world here. And Pando, he's got those steel steps. Finally, he has a reason to fight back. Mongolian chop from the #1 contender. Absolutely disgraceful here tonight. Bulldog from Cory Sinclair. Repositioning those steel steps. What the hell does he have in mind for the World Heavyweight Champion? What does he have in mind for Pando here? Oh, he's not going to do what I think he's going to do. Not on the steps! An oil spill onto that cold and unforgiving steel. This sick son of a bitch is trying to put Pando out of commission. And look at him trying to wrestle away that World Heavyweight Championship from Slot Thigh Jones. There's nothing worth celebrating about this. But he has sent one hell of a message to the Siberian Silver Bear. This is what lies ahead for Pando come 2026. Cory Sinclair has made his message loud and clear. This Mad King marches out of Toxicity with a world title shot. And what is Pando gonna look like? What's the condition of this man going to be come holiday hell on Monday night. And that is all the time that we have here tonight, folks. I have been Tapey Styles, the only man that can call the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. Wishing you all a happy holidays, everybody.